Welcome into the Hogs Happy Hour here on the Four Star Sports Media Network. I'm your host Blake, joined by Jason and a old co-host may join since it's basketball season now, but we'll see. If you're ready for the big game, score a touchdown with your ticket purchase. Use promo code Four Star Sports Media. That's in all caps on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first order. Don't miss out on the action. Grab your tickets today and save. We use SeatGeek, and we would like it if you use that promo code as well. So, Jason, you were at the game this past weekend. Is the third, maybe fourth largest crowd? I forgot what the actual attendance
Yeah,
numbers were,
I think they said like
but
fourth.
so I mean, it was a great crowd, great atmosphere, great drone show.
That was the
So
highlight of the game right there.
But as far as football goes, it was not the best game that we could have witnessed. We were Arkansas fans were looking forward to it all day. It was one of those rare night games you get in Fayetteville. So, but yeah, just kind of talk us through your experience up there.
Oh, well, obviously we're off to a bad start when they had a huge sinkhole right there at the main entrance of the stadium. I guess that was a little foreshadowing of our defensive efforts during this game. But overall, pregame, crowd, had a lot of energy. Uh, everybody obviously went into this game thinking that it's going to be a good game and we can win. Obviously, people have been tailgating all day and drinks were flowing. I
Yeah,
know the guy behind me probably had to be in his 70s and he was slurring every single word he was saying. Uh,
yeah,
but
was very hydrated.
yeah, uh, I was. I hate to be, I hate to be that person, but honestly, the referees to me weren't the best in this game. Obviously, that ultimately didn't cause us to lose, but
Oh no.
it did play a factor in us, I think, having the morale uh,
Oh yeah.
to go into
Especially.
it. I would say the crowd did let the referees know when they thought it was a bad call.
Hmm.
um, I still would like some answers, some clarifications on some of them, but no, that's public.
Hmm.
I think I even talked about in our group chat, say, hey, referees need to have a post game conference to explain their calls.
Yeah. Accountability.
You know,
Yeah.
I know we'll never see that,
No.
but I think we left with maybe 6 minutes left in the game.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure traffic was going to be bad because of that
well, yeah,
sinkhole.
yeah.
So
We had to find an alternate route out of town, so
yeah,
we left a little early. We missed the last LSU score.
yeah, didn't miss anything
Uh,
important. I'll say.
no, I hate that it this bad game happened during homecoming. Hate it for those people.
Yeah.
Um, but hey, the homecoming king, I think, was from Pine Bluff,
Mhm.
so it's from your
Yep.
area.
Mhm.
Um, but man, it was just a bad game.
Yeah. It just as great as that Tennessee win felt, this felt equally as just it just knocks the taste out of your mouth. Regarding the
Especially
season.
coming off a bye week when you had
Yep.
2 weeks to get ready. And
Yep.
Sam Pittman also kind of foreshadowed when he said, "I'm probably going to get some slack for this, but I went to a concert." And I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe you should have been
It
watching a
showed.
little bit more film."
Yeah. Yeah. It showed up. I mean, it was. From that first drive LSU had, you can just tell
Hmm.
we're in. And then Arkansas had that second drive. It was kind of promising, and then it
Yeah.
kind of was not. And then after that, it was an uphill battle. But
No,
going through some stats,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, about to say Taylor Green he was 21 of 31, 240 for a touchdown and a bad interception down there at the goal line. Um, when he
Hmm.
Now that wasn't the first
That was
they
the
tried
second
that play
turnover.
earlier. Yeah, they tried that play earlier and it just got tipped down. Then they went
Hmm.
back to it and it was bad. But Taylor, I don't think played a bad game.
No, I mean statistically, you look at his game. He had a pretty good game. He had a pretty good high completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this game more or less revolved around the defense and the fact that
Mm-hmm.
LSU has a really great offensive line. They
Oh yeah.
protected their quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a huge struggle for us this game.
Yeah. I mean, we would be so close, and he just gets it
Hmm.
away. Yeah, it was tough. Running the ball was not there. uh,
No.
Finished with a team rushing total of 38 yards on 19 carries. So for your mathematicians out there, that's 2 yards a carry. A long of 13. Leading rusher was Jaquinton Jackson, who is now probably out for the foreseeable future. So it's on Rashad Dominion, who carries the ball like a loaf of bread, and a true freshman in Braylon Russell. That's going to be our running backs going forward. I don't know. When the season started, you thought running back room was pretty strong. With
Yeah.
Jackson coming in, you had Dominion. You got Hill, who can give you some carries, and you got a 4 or 5 star recruit out of
Hmm.
Braylon Russell. But it's just not. And to me, it's not on the offensive line. Like if you watch 4th and 5 with
Well, yeah.
DJ Williams,
Hmm.
it's there. It's just I don't know. It's just
Well,
it's just, it's just disappointing.
it's almost like they're scared to hit the hole running and want to tiptoe around their blockers. Um, I was noticing that a lot during that LSU game.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
but on the opposite side of the ball, the defense. Um,
Oh. Mm.
um,
When
what's
Hudson
his
Clark was
name?
1-on-1.
Yes, he would let them catch the ball
Yeah.
and get 1 or 2 yards, then decide to tackle.
Yeah.
He's they're in his face. He's preparing to tackle, and he's watching them catch the ball instead of trying to do
Yeah.
something.
I think the point Ashton turned the game off, and it's a play you might remember is Nussmeyer literally threw it across the field. I don't know who the defensive back was. He literally stopped, watch him catch it, and then go tackle him instead of
Yeah,
trying to go get the ball.
that was Hudson Clark, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened 2 or 3 more times. The exact same
Yeah.
thing during that game.
I mean, just LSU's offensive plan was, you know, Arkansas DBs were 8, 10 yards off the ball, so they would
Well,
three
yeah.
step drop, throw it out there. That's 7, 8 yards every time, and so you're at
Uh,
2nd and 3.
to me, when they're that far off the ball, they're compensating for something,
Yeah.
and what they're compensating for is probably the speed of their receivers.
But I will say they didn't give up any big plays. Like,
No,
you know,
no. Well, I mean, shoot, LSU was dinking and dunking the whole game.
I know.
What's the point of going
hmm
long?
Reminds me of Tom Brady back in the day. He'll be 28 of 32, and he just
Hmm.
4, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. It's just,
But
but I
LSU's
think,
their running game
yeah,
killed us.
yeah, they could have just ran the ball and won, but
Hmm.
they our DBs were off the ball so much they just 1, 2, 3 throw it out there.
Hmm.
But yeah, but our defense was, I mean, their offensive line is probably the best in the whole nation. So
I
he's going
mean,
to have time. He tried to blitz them. It
hmm
just they're just good at picking up those blitzes, and
yeah. I
if you
mean,
blitz them, there's something open out there.
that's probably going to be the best offensive line we'll play all season.
You know, which next week we get the one of the worst. So
Well, I mean, it's our former coaches. They're off their line coach.
yeah, yeah. Just all right. Receiving stats: Armstrong again had a pretty good game. 7 catches, 94 yards, and he finally got a touchdown. First touchdown of the year. Which at that point I thought, okay, when he scored that touchdown, I was like, all right, it's gonna be back and forth. They're gonna score, we're gonna score. But no, it did.
No,
Didn't turn out
I
that
mean,
way.
early in the game, we moved the ball pretty
hmm
easy down the field. It's
hmm
those 2 turnovers that really
Yeah,
cost us, especially the one that was on within the 5 yard line.
yeah, yeah. And that Dominion just, I mean, it was just an easy poke it out.
Yeah,
That was tough. I'll
obviously he
put it
doesn't
that
show
way.
up to practice, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah. And then Broden showed up. He had some tough catches. One of them got called back for
Yeah,
a fant. I mean, I don't know if it was holding or not. They never really showed the replay, but knowing these SEC refs, I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
holding. And then Luke Kaz, he had 2 catches, 22 yards. So I mean,
It
like
was
you
nice to
said,
see him. It's nice to see him get some catches.
yeah. So I mean, Taylor had a decent. I mean, just that one bad interception down there. Otherwise, but he didn't run the ball as much,
Hmm.
which I think was part of the game plan because of his knee. But yeah, offense was okay. Defense was not very good. As
Hmm.
much as we praised the defense this whole season, it's not very good. And I mean, we were fairly healthy. I mean, only Braxton was
Yeah.
out with an injury.
Well, don't forget Ramsey.
Oh yeah, and Ram. Oh yeah, kicker. We it doesn't matter who's kicking for us. We're not very good. Um, but yeah, LSU wins the boot. Now we'll find out this weekend. LSU and A&M play each other.
Hmm.
The top 2 teams in the SEC. So now, beginning of the season, you thought Arkansas' schedule was kind of easy, but now looking at it, we didn't know Texas A&M was going to be as good. We didn't know LSU was
Well,
going to be as good.
well, I mean, if you look at I mean, obviously nationally, you look at our strength of schedule. It was in like number one and number two. So I mean, going into the season, we knew we had a tough schedule. Uh, to me, I think we played the schedule pretty decent for who
Mm-hmm.
we are.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Look in the mirror. We're not a good team. Um,
No.
but I think we've outperformed so far this year. I mean, we're just like I said, a couple plays away from only having then, but now one
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the first time where like, yeah,
Yeah,
they beat us. Those
yeah.
other 2 times, I'm like, we play here, play there. We
Hmm.
could have won, but this was just a beat down
But I
of
mean, hats off to
epic proportions.
LSU. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they've got some players.
Yeah, Nussmeier might be the best quarterback. I think in the SEC, but I don't. You can make an argument for in the nation.
Hmm.
Just true quarterback. I'm not talking about best athlete, best this. I'm
Yeah,
just best quarterback.
but
But
that offensive line helps.
it does. And I don't know if he's still there, but I know our old offensive line coach went there. Coach Davis, Brad Davis. I think he's still there. Uh, but I want to bring up 2 things before we get into Mississippi State. All right. And Ashton, he brings it up every game. He texts me when it happens. Um, Jaquindon Jackson will get carried off the field at some point in every game. And the folks over at the Pig Trail Nation, they were asked a question about it, and they said the same thing. They said he gets hit one time, and he has to hobble off the field. And at Utah, that was the problem. He couldn't stay on the field. So I mean, honestly, he's kind of like Rocket Sanders, where he's hurt.
Hmm.
He's a good running back, but he just cannot stay on the field.
Well, yeah,
His yards have dropped tremendously since SEC play has started.
hmm. Well, you look at Rocket this year. None of that's happened
Yeah.
with him this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came down to he just got tired of playing for Arkansas, got tired of playing for our coaches, and maybe that's the same thing that's happening with Jackson.
Yeah, I don't. And honestly, Jaquindon may. I I said this on our Sunday recap show. He may just be burned out with football. He may
Hmm.
just your heart has to be in it, and I don't know if his is in it. Now he's a great player, great person, but sometimes you just get burned out. And then this is one no Hog fan wants to talk about is Bobby Petrino's ability to call an offense. Now we know it was going to take some time because we're going off of Bobby Petrino's last stint, when he was a head coach. The first year was not very good, but second, third year obviously was very good. We know with Pittman's situation, we don't have time to wait. It has to be great this year. And since SEC play started, has not been that way. I mean, we scored 70 points on UAPB.
Hmm.
And I mean, but just this is just SEC play. We're averaging 18.5 points per game. Uh, and then yards wise, we average 246 yards passing and 114 yards rushing. And SEC play for an average of 360 yards a game. So, I mean, now we knew Talon coming in was not the perfect quarterback. He's going to have to fix some things, and he has. Talon has improved. I mean, you can see
Oh yeah.
that. But and also the injuries at running back don't help when you're having to rely on a true freshman. And then the offensive line, they're switching things in and out. Last year I said it's like rearranging the seats on the Titanic. Like there's no good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean they're switching around this week.
Yeah, and I think Kudus, I think he's not going to play this game.
I don't know.
They're trying to redshirt him.
Pittman said it's 50-50 on who's getting reps.
Yeah.
Kutas or Blackstock.
Yeah. They're trying to redshirt him, but it can't play more than 4. So they're trying to, if you add in the bowl, potential bowl game, that, I don't know, but that's what Pittman said. They're trying to redshirt him, and I think Braxton's on that. He's trying to get redshirted too. Since he's already missed so much. But the injury report is pretty much the same as last week. Kicker and Braxton are on there, and Jaquin and Jackson's doubtful. So injury wise, we're pretty healthy. We just gotta. I think our ego is more beat up than our physical bodies.
Well, yeah, I mean that was a pretty embarrassing, loss.
Yep. All right, so let's go into a place me and you we actually saw a pretty good game. We went, I don't know, it's when Dak Prescott was there, when they were ranked number 1.
First time they've ever been ranked number 1.
And that place was loud. All them cowbells ringing. And at night, it was a night game. It was a great game. I remember, I don't know who it was, maybe Ellis had a pick 6. Brooks Ellis.
Yeah, it actually was a close game. I think we come pretty close to beating them.
Yeah.
And I think that was on the down end of Brett Bielema's career. I don't think.
No.
I think that's after he spent weeks and weeks and weeks on Dixon Street.
Yeah. That game was so long ago. They actually celebrated that Mississippi State team last weekend. They had Dak Prescott there and Coach Mullins, and so.
If you know anything about Starkville, there's nothing there.
Yeah, for the
Applebee's. We went to the Applebee's after the game,
and we stayed about 2 or 3 hours at that Applebee's. There's nothing else to do, but it's an old ag school, so there's. It reminds me of our hometown. It's just a bunch of farmland because it's an ag school, but
College.
Yep. So far this year, they're not very good, but. If they were to ever get an SEC win, or a win against a decent team, it's this weekend. So I'll just go over some things on them. Toledo, Arkansas fans should know a lot about Toledo. They actually beat them pretty handily. They put up 454 yards and scored 41 points in Starkville. But the next week, Toledo lost 26-21 to Western Kentucky. So you're like, I don't know. But Mississippi State has played a brutal schedule these past 3 weeks. They played what was the then number 1 ranked team, number 5 ranked team, and 14th ranked team with Texas, Georgia, and Texas A&M. And, we talk about our SEC picks throughout the week. We're like, well, Mississippi State's got that huge spread. You might want to put some money on them, and each time they've covered. They have a true freshman at quarterback. He's a 4-star true freshman from Maryland, Michael Van Buren. He's pretty decent. Just to kind of be thrown in there. But their defense is not very good. Okay, they are 122nd ranked in the nation in total defense. So there's plays to be made. Now, their defense, they do not give up the home run bomb. They kind of play defense like we played at LSU last week. Just kind of
That's
keep everything in front of you.
a very safe defense.
Yeah. I mean, the score might be close, but you will not give up the home
Hmm.
run bomb to anybody. Um, so that's just a quick thing on Mississippi State. Just watching them play, I mean, they play hard. They want to win. I mean, they've played competitive with your top teams. Your Georgias, your Texas, and even Texas A&M. Um, at the half at Texas, they were I don't think they were just down by one or down by a touchdown. Um, that's when they had Arch Manning at quarterback. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle. The line opened up at 8.5. I think it's dropped down to 7 now.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since Arkansas was a touchdown road favorite on the road in the SEC.
Hmm.
So if
Yeah.
you if you're looking for silver linings and sunshine, that's your sunshine pumping right there.
All right, Randy Rainwater.
Yeah, I mean you gotta look at the positives. All right,
Good
some
Chuck
of us
Barrett.
some of us look at glass half full, glass half empty. Some of us are just glad there's a glass at the table, and that's how I feel with those Arkansas fans. Glass half full is like you know positives. Glass half empty is like Fire Pittman, and the other set of fans are just like, I'm just glad the Hogs are on TV.
Hmm.
So, but Mississippi State cannot run the ball, and they have a former coach of ours, Coach Kennedy. He's running the offensive line over there, which I think Coach Kennedy, I wouldn't put that all on him because he did have some pretty good. We led the nation in rushing a couple years ago with Brow.
Yeah.
Browse was offense coordinator. So I mean, it's not like he doesn't know what to do. I just think Enos last year was just a bad combination of Enos coming in was weird anyways because he didn't hire anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't get to hire any of his assistants he wanted. He was just kind of a lone wolf out there. So I think the Enos was just a bad combination.
Kind of looking at their stats, I mean, their quarterback just seems very average. He doesn't
Yeah.
turn the ball over that much.
No.
He's only
Yeah.
threw
Yeah.
one interception this whole
Yeah.
year.
And that's good for those. Think about the defenses he's gone against. Texas,
And
Georgia, Texas A&M.
you compare that to Taylor Green, who's thrown 6 touchdowns for 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
But I will give Taylor Green some of those weren't his
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, they're good team. I mean, a decent team. They're
Hmm.
they're going to beat an SEC team. The way this SEC schedule's going so far, they will beat somebody. I just hope it's not the Hogs this weekend.
No, I mean, they've been competitive in some of the tougher games that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
That's what surprises me is they struggle with the lesser opponents, but these teams that are so much better than them, they hang in there with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the gambling folks love Mississippi State because they.
But imagine if we lose this game, though.
Uh,
Woo.
yeah, this is last week was a big game. Probably last week thinking about it, it's probably one
Hmm.
of the biggest games in Pittman's Arkansas career. Just because of if we win and you beat Mississippi State, you can kind of go on
Hmm.
a run. And now it's just the way that you lost. And after the game, Pittman just I don't know, he's just kind of nonchalant, like yeah, whatever.
Was used to it.
Yeah, I didn't get a good
I know.
vibe in that post game press
I
conference.
know. On the way back, he had asked me like, "You want to listen to the post game conference?" And I said, "Not really. He's just going to say the same things he always says. I mean, it's going
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, nothing new.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff of that nature.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the refs and the LSU game. If that's not target, like there was a play in the Georgia Texas game that was less than
Hmm.
that, and he got targeted and ejected
Yeah.
and whatnot. I just Arkansas, we're not mad. We just want consistency. Like,
Well, yeah.
and like on that pass interference, it was a no call on us, and then they flip it around. LSU kind of does the same play, and they get a
Yeah,
call. And
there's one that was.
it was weird that they got a call, like they got that penalty, and then they just took a knee.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay.
There was one time it was a blatant pass interference against LSU and no flag at all.
Yeah.
Uh, that targeting, you can on video, you can see him. He's on 2 feet, launching into a defenseless receiver.
Yeah. I know you were at the game, but the announcers are like, "Oh, this is textbook definition of launching. You know, leaving your feet,
Yeah.
launching at a player."
Yeah, he was on 2 feet, and you can see him launching into him. But
Yeah,
again, well, what do we know?
and our buddy Ashton, I haven't told you this, but he he emailed the SEC the SEC office, and I don't think he heard a response back.
Well, during that game, I texted. I was like, you know, referees should have answered post game questions. Hold them accountable for the calls that they make. Don't shield them, making them feel like they can make any call they want to without any repercussions.
Yeah, and officials, they have the benefit of replay. Like, I mean, there was 3 flags on that targeting play. Like all 3 of
Hmm.
those officials, like, oh, that's targeting. And then
I
the
noticed,
Birmingham said no.
early in the game, LSU had a lot of false start penalties.
Yes,
That
because that
referee,
crowd.
that referee that was on the line, it took him forever to throw a flag on those false starts.
Yeah,
It's almost like
seems like.
he didn't want to call it,
Hmm.
but he had to.
He's like, nah, there's no way it's another false start.
Uh, maybe we threw trash on the field.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
we'll get into that in our SEC talk. That was listen, the best drama, the best TV show on planet Earth is SEC college football. Like, especially this year, because you have no clue what you're going to get.
No.
All right, so score prediction. See, I'll go. You went first last week. So it's about 11:45 kickoff. So they shouldn't be too hydrated there in Starkville. Cowbells will be ringing, and I don't. I listen. I know it's tradition. I just hate that. Like, they're the
Mm-hmm.
only SEC school that can do that. Bring out
Well,
those artificial noisemakers.
during plays, they
Uh,
play the video that says, "Do not use your cowbell."
you can't tell me during a close game, it's 4th and 1. You know,
I
they're not
know.
like,
We've been there.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's I mean it's loud. Like, people think, oh, it's just a cowbell. Well, you get 50,000 cowbells ringing. It gets intense. But with all that said, I think Arkansas bounces back in a big way. We're traditionally under Pittman a better road team. The early kickoff favors the road team, so I'm going with a whopping 31-10 victory.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got. I mean, I just. I mean, I, I just think, that's just the vibe I get.
I had mine being a little bit higher scoring game.
Yeah, yeah, yep. 31-10. Arkansas, not Mississippi.
I got Arkansas winning, but in a closer game, I got us winning 37-27.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
it, yeah. This game is going to be a hard one to predict the score on.
yeah, yeah. I just think the freshman quarterback, he has film on him now,
Hmm.
so maybe Travis Williams can pick up on some tendencies of his, and but there's one key factor, X factors. Coach Kennedy, he knows his locker room. He knows these players. I mean, I know we got about 20 new players, but he knows the culture and all that.
Hmm.
So he kind of knows maybe the secrets that most people don't know. So, but Hogs win. Now this, I mean, if we want to go bowl, if we want to go to Liberty Bowl, okay,
Oh, it's a must win.
it's a must win. Now these bowl projections, I look at them every week. Now they got us going to the Texas Bowl, which me and you've
Yeah.
been there. It's a nice bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Illinois, that would be interesting.
Rip Bielema.
Every bowl projection has like us tie. It's some type of Arkansas tie. Now it was with UCF, but KJ's not starting for them anymore, so
No,
it's
I
not
think
much of a.
KJ got tired of playing football.
Yeah, KJ might want to. He can't raise shirt now.
No,
Just needs to go get a
he,
job.
he might as well just become an insurance salesman or used car salesman,
Yeah,
a
what's that candy he
realtor.
would eat? The Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's dissect what happened. Okay. I mean, our game was a big game last week. So started off today. Missouri was struggling. Brady Cook went to the hospital. Brady Cook came back from the hospital. It was a movie script that someone needs to make, because when he came back in, they whooped up on old Hugh Freeze down there and them Auburn Tigers.
Well, hey, if they played 9 more times,
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
win.
If Brady Cook goes out 9 times, they would win. It's another blown lead for Hugh Freeze. They are, I think they're what, 2-6 on the season. I think that's what. Yeah, no, 2-5. I done gave them another loss. So 2-5. So they got to start winning. They want to be going bowling, which I don't think I don't see it, because they still got to play Bama. But you never know with Bama.
Yeah, I mean, this is the lowest Bama's been ranked in a long time.
Heck, Indiana's ranked ahead of. Yeah, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, the
And
one year they're off
then
our schedule.
I know the one year, like, man, I wish we had Bam on our schedule instead of some of these teams we got to play. South Carolina whooped up on the newcomer Oklahoma Sooners, 35-9. South Carolina had 2 early defensive touchdowns and just kind of kept going with it. Oklahoma's having a hard time in the SEC, it seems, right now.
Yeah,
But they,
you don't play Kansas every week.
yeah,
Kansas State,
yeah,
TCU.
yeah. That was the thing about them coming into the SEC. You're like, yeah, you can beat a Texas A. I'm just throwing a team out there. You can beat
Mhm.
Texas A&M, and then the next week you got to play Alabama. It's not
Yeah,
like you said, you're not playing Baylor and Kansas State after a big game. It's big game
yeah.
after big game after big game.
I mean, honestly, in the Big 12, you had Texas and Oklahoma. Either one of
Yeah,
those two would win it every
yeah.
year.
And then
And
Oklahoma
the
State would,
yeah, every now and then you'd have like somebody who may come
yeah,
close to them, but
yeah. When Mahomes was on Tech,
yeah,
But yeah, so now that's a big win for Beamer though. He's kind of coaching for his, not his job, but not to be on the hot seat.
yeah.
Then Oklahoma fired their offensive coordinator, so maybe they think that will change their injury status on the receivers, because they don't they
Uh,
don't have hardly any good healthy receivers.
no, well, they also need a quarterback, not just
Yeah,
receivers.
yeah, they're going back to Jackson Arnold, I think, this weekend. And then Bama fans are getting a dose of reality when Tennessee beat them 24-17 in the rivalry game. Yeah, Bama's now they got 2 should have 3. Honest, I mean South Carolina could have beat them.
Mhm.
But yeah, they got 2 losses. They want everyone fired down there in Tuscaloosa. They want Saban back. It's just, we're like, well, this is
That's,
how it was for, well, however many years Saban was there.
but yeah, but let's not forget Alabama has. I mean, there's been years where they've been bad. I mean, they haven't always been dominant. I
Yeah,
mean, most of the kids now that watch Alabama have grown up with Alabama being a dominant team. Heck, I mean, even those kids that go to that college now were children when Saban was a
mm,
coach. So all they've known is Alabama to be good.
yeah, yeah. And which we'll talk about in a minute. But if I mean, you might see kids start to quit. Like, just kind of shut
Hmm.
down. I mean, because they're not used to it. They're at Alabama. Then Texas A&M beat on Mississippi State 34-24. We just kind of talked about that. That sets up a big matchup for Texas A&M and LSU. And then we talked about Ball State. They hung in there with Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt
yeah.
only wins by 10, 24-14, but that's kind of how Vanderbilt plays. They methodical, keep the ball type of offense. But hey, Vanderbilt is ranked.
No,
It's
hey, top
ranked.
top 25 match this week for
Yeah, good. Well, I don't. Hey, it might happen.
them.
Then the fighting Billy Napiers beat on old Stoops 48-20. I don't. It's not looking good for Stoops, but he's kind of stuck there because he just signed a new contract.
Well,
And,
Kentucky doesn't care about football.
no, it's once Big Blue Madness happened, it's on
Hey,
basketball.
I think they dominated somebody in an exhibition game
They did.
last night.
They shot or they made 21 out of 42 threes. They're jacking that thing up. And then the game of the weekend, Georgia. I mean, they dominated Texas. I mean, the
Oh
score says
yeah.
30-15, but it was. I mean, that Georgia defense was all
Oh,
over
and
Texas.
I mean, we brought it up plenty of times. Texas hasn't played anybody. The
Hmm.
toughest team they played was Michigan, and Michigan's almost out of the top 25
Yeah,
now.
yep. And if you listen to us, we told you take Georgia, take Georgia, take Georgia. Money line. I don't. We don't need the points, you know. But let's go ahead and talk about the play. Another SEC official fiasco. So what happened was they threw a flag for pass interference. Texas intercepted the ball during the play. They ran it back, and Texas fans were throwing trash on the field. And then miraculously, they were like, After discussion, there's no flag for pass interference.
Yeah,
So, and that
it wasn't a review. It was just
no,
a discussion.
yeah, like a 10-minute after the flag has been thrown discussion, not a quick let's say as an official you can't throw a flag and be my bad, I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You either throw it or you don't, and you just live with your call. And Texas was fined 250, or was it five? I think it was 250.
250.
Yeah, $250,000. I don't know if you've seen that picture floating around where Vanderbilt has
A
like
net.
a baseball net type deal. I haven't I don't know if it's Photoshop or not. I don't know if it's real, but it is a heck of a troll if it's not.
I mean, they
But
do play Texas this week.
yeah, but yeah, that call you can't you just have to live with it. And Texas, welcome to the SEC because it's going to happen. Officials here are not very good. Okay,
Well, I
you
mean,
you can't be throwing trash.
they're used to being in the Big 12 where
Hmm.
Texas owned the league and
Yeah.
basically got anything that they wanted.
Hmm.
I
But
mean,
it sets the precedent of let's say I'm just throwing Ole Miss and Mississippi State out there. Okay, if
mhm,
there's a bad play, hey, let's throw trash on the field. We might get it changed.
yeah,
It's a bad look.
yeah.
But
Do you see where they're using different video footage and identifying people who are throwing trash and banning them,
hmm.
permanently from going to Texas games because
Yeah.
it was the student section. That's what
Hmm.
it was.
Yeah. Yeah. The students they were not happy, but it's
I mean, let's
it
be
is what
real.
it is.
I mean, y'all should have never been number one to begin with.
No, no, and
Not even close.
no, and Georgia, Georgia's season is back on track. So
Well, until somebody gets pulled over again for reckless driving.
what was that tweet? It's something about I don't know, like Kirby gets mad at the officials, but he don't get mad at his
Yeah.
players for I don't know. But
Well, I
anyways,
mean, it's good on Kirby to even call it out, even though you're not supposed to talk about officials.
yeah,
I mean, good thing he called him out on it.
yeah, he did it. He did it professionally,
Yeah.
you know, and he was hyped up in that interview. Like he's like your network. No one believed in us. Yeah, it was the good old fashioned Kirby right there. All right, this week's schedule is it's not the best, but you gotta have some
Not as
bye
good as
weeks
last
every
week.
now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually in these weeks something crazy happens, and I mean there's spots for crazy in this.
Oh yeah.
First kickoff of the day is not ours actually. It is Oklahoma at number 18 ranked Ole Miss. 11 o'clock kickoff on ESPN, so right after game day. Mississippi or Ole Miss is a 20-point favorite at home. So yeah, I think this is a game Kiffin's gonna just put up a lot of points and kind of like say like I'm good at this
Yeah.
type of game.
But I don't know. I mean, Ole Miss second half of the season tends to fall apart.
Yeah, yeah, and they do come to Fayetteville.
Yeah, the week right after that.
Yeah, so. And then next is our game. Right now, ESPN Bet has actually Arkansas as a 6.5 point favorite. So
I see that. I think we're on the same website. You
yeah,
get tickets as low as $2.
yeah, yeah. I thought about going. I got some former students. One of them's a cheerleader, and one of them helps out with the athletic teams, and so I thought about just going, but yeah, we got a little Halloween. It's Halloween weekend technically, so
It's
I'd
not a
rather
bad
do
drive
that.
for you.
No. Now this next one is a big one, and I'm surprised at these ticket prices. But anyways, 21 Mizzou at number 15 Alabama, 2:30 kickoff on ABC. Alabama right now is a 16 and a half
Oh,
point favorite. That is insane, but tickets as low as $26 if you want to go to a ranked matchup in Alabama. I mean that's just crazy. Um, who do you got in this game?
oh, I think Bama bounces back, but definitely not a 16-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm not a Mizzou person or Drinkwitz person, but
Mhm.
this is probably one of the bigger games in his career. I mean, you have a chance to like kill any momentum Alabama could
Mhm.
have had after Saban. I mean, if you lose three games in that first year, you're about to see a mass exodus of some transfers coming out of Bama. But
And we're not talking about football players. We're talking about fans.
yeah, they'll go root for the next, maybe Texas or something. I don't know, but yeah, I got Bama winning, but not. I mean, Mizzou's going to
Yeah.
cover for sure. I just don't. I don't. I mean, I don't know the odds makers are seeing in that game, but some most time they're smarter than the gambling people. All right, this next one is the game of the week. Game day couldn't go here because I can't go to SEC games every weekend. Game day actually is in Indiana, which I think is a good spot because that's a good story going on right now. Indiana's undefeated, and so. But anyways, LSU at Texas A&M. The line is even, so it's a pick 'em down at College Station. The over under is 54.5. So
Mm.
I mean, Arkansas's played both of them, but Arkansas didn't play the same quarterback.
Yeah.
We had Marcel Reed. I think the quarterbacks now are very similar. I think it's going to come down to the defense, and I think A&M has a better defense. That defensive line is nasty, but they're playing against a really good offensive
Mhm.
line. So yeah, it's going to be a good game, but I'm just going to go with the home team, Texas A&M, with the win.
I'm going with the opposite. I think LSU may end up taking it.
Yeah.
What I saw last week was a really good LSU team on all aspects of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. LSU's turned it around since
Hmm.
the you know since Brian he was beating on the table, doing it again and again. And then the nightcap. I don't know who picked this game for the night. Come on. I mean, I know
Well,
y'all make these schedules in advance, but Auburn at Kentucky. This is a playoff elimination game right here. 6:45 on SEC Network.
I
Kentucky is a
mean,
favorite. Wow. Okay.
only by 2.5.
I mean, they don't have an. I don't know if they can score 3 points. I don't know. I mean, it's not a very good offense,
Uh,
but Auburn's not. Auburn's not consistent enough. I mean, Auburn has like a great play here and there, but I mean, there's
I
no
want to see
team with any
Auburn
momentum.
lose.
Yeah, I like to see Hugh Freeze and his throwing people under the bus. I don't, you know, Arkansas fans have a hatred for Kentucky right now, not for football reasons, for basketball reasons.
I don't think we
So
hate them. I think Kentucky's just
yeah,
obsessed with us.
yeah, yeah, true. I don't know. Give me Auburn.
Yeah.
They've got to win something, right? I mean, got to win a game somewhere.
I'm going Kentucky. Just let the downfall of Auburn continue.
Yep. Well, it is officially basketball season tomorrow. Number one Kansas visits Bud Walton in the sold out crowds for a charity event. Now, Bill Self said that they're going to work on situational type things, but
Hmm.
Coach Cal said, no, we're not. Coach Cal said this is as close to a game as it's going to be. He said
What's the point of it?
the only difference is they're playing quarters and they're not playing halves.
Hmm.
So, uh, now both teams have a lot of injuries. Arkansas, we don't really know. They were kind of quiet today in their press conference on who's actually injured, which I mean it's just a scrimmage, so no need to really put that out there. And Kansas had their conference media days, and they're dealing with some injuries right now. And there's no sense in playing anybody that's injured or really even hurt.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you got a little, if you got a little tightness in your back or arm, just sit out. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's just practice. It doesn't count.
Hmm.
Arkansas, we beat
Purdue.
Purdue like in this type of scrimmage last year, and you saw it really doesn't matter.
Went into what, double overtime or something?
Mm-hmm.
Overtime. I know at least went in one overtime.
Yeah, but it's a big game that students are camping out
Oh
for
yeah. I'm looking
this.
at ticket prices, and their average ticket's well over $100.
Yeah, but you get $20 off if you use
Yeah.
promo code 4-Star Sports Media on SeatGeek. But yeah, I mean, there's really don't know what to expect. Dave Shumate messaged me. He's like, "What do you think about the basketball team?" I'm like, "Really don't know right now, because I mean, it's all new players except for one. It's all new
Well,
coaches.
two,
Well,
two, except
two.
for
I'm
two.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't
Except
get
for
Blake
two.
Larson.
Um, except for those two. New coach, new this, new that, new court. I mean, new
Hmm.
slobbering hog on the court. So really don't know what to expect. Just have patience with Coach Cal. It's he's a Hall of Fame coach for a reason. He knows what he's doing. Us sitting in our chairs at home we don't know as much as he
Yeah.
does. So
No,
let
I
him.
will say they showed the basketball team at the game. I will say this basketball team has, to me, it looks like pretty good size
Mm-hmm.
compared to
Yeah,
the Musselman years.
yeah, and we should be getting a commit here soon from a guy that visited this past weekend. Top 10 national, like top 5-star, obviously. That's all. That's all Coach Cal likes, 5 stars. So, but yeah, that's what 7 o'clock, 7:30,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right, a little bit later. I thought.
Oh, but you know who's on the call?
Oh, I can only guess. Our buddy. That means
Oh,
automatic
Jimmy.
L.
Oh, Jimmy.
Auto, automatic L. Automatic L. Jimmy. No, I mean I'm sure they. I mean it's just a charity, so they found
Yeah.
someone local. Hey, it's a,
Yeah, but I mean
uh,
the big thing out of it is it's actually on SEC Network. It's not on
mm-hmm,
streaming services like the
mm-hmm,
Plus. It's on actual SEC
yeah.
Network.
It's not on a grainy Facebook stream or
Yeah.
ESPinto
Hmm.
uh, on X. So, but yeah, it's basketball. I mean, we got this. We got TCU. We got Illinois.
Lipscomb.
Yeah, yeah.
After that's the
So
official start of the season.
so you get to see the round ball bouncing on the slobbering hog. So it's gonna be a sight to see tomorrow. And Coach Cal said he's excited to run out of the home tunnel instead of the away tunnel. So, but other than that, that's a wrap on this show. Appreciate everyone out there watching us on X and YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, follow, do all that. And if you're looking for tickets, go to SeatGeek. Use promo code 4-Star Sports Media for $20 off your first order. So I know a lot of people are planning basketball trips right now, especially that Thanksgiving. The feast week is a lot of people travel for basketball games. So
Oh yeah,
if you're
well,
looking
I
for
think
tickets, go to SeatGeek.
yeah, I think Arkansas is playing in a tournament that weekend.
Yep. So yeah, our non-conference is really good. It's nothing like the Musselman
Hmm.
non-conference. I mean, it is like I said, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose their non-conference, and might lose more than you want to. We just, Coach Cal wants this team ready by mid-February, March.
Yeah,
Um,
hey, as
so,
long as you make it to the dance, that's all that matters.
and I was telling Dave this. I was like, well, my expectation is we're ranked 16th right now in the preseason. So that means if we don't make the Sweet 16, it might be some people think of a failure because of our preseason expectations. But I don't know. Anyways, make sure y'all subscribe, watch the basketball game tomorrow, tune in to the football game, and be mad. Something's gonna piss you off this weekend. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know what sport, but something's gonna piss you off, and
it's
especially if
it's
you're a
gonna
Cowboys
happen.
fan.
Well, I mean, to me, I'm writing the season off.
Well, Jags have wrote it off since the second week, so we're
Yeah, I'm waiting on
joined the
see
club.
who's going to be some new coaches coming up.
Yeah, new coaches, new radio host, new this, new
Yeah,
that.
why not a new owner
Yeah, he
or a
ain't.
new GM?
No, that's his baby. But anyways, appreciate everyone watching. See y'all next week.